Finley, your dad had a rough day yesterday. You finished... Yeah, Dad. Yeah, you finished 15th. A DNF because you gotten taken out, yep, in the go-go. Yeah, I did. You got taken out in the go-go. And then came from the back to finish 18th in the next race. Back, yeah. He's starting 20th today. Back, yes. You think I'm going to go to the back? Is that what you're saying? Good morning. Day 3, Grand Nationals. Ben is out here doing prep work. And why would Ben be doing prep work if he said yesterday he was done? Ben?
I don't know. I came all this way. Might as well go a little further.
There you have it. So we are making final preparations. He's got to find an axle. Because his was bent in the middle. Both of his were bent in the middle. So he should be getting one around 8 o'clock. It's just been the starts out here that have been where the carnage has taken place, at least for us. We can get through the starts. It's been fun. So we're gonna make the final preparations here. Weather-wise, the forecast calls for rain, and we don't have their rain tires right now. We're working on it. Might have a line on some.
How's it going? Go Briggs.
You guys with Briggs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thanks a lot. Appreciate your support.
Yeah, of course. Love it, man.
So here we are. We've got something different today. Instead of the morning walk with Dad's fixing breakfast. And you can't just throw this thing together. So to level things off, we've got a gear. We're running a 74 this morning because a 75 wouldn't be enough. And we've got all the tools ready to break a few eggs, and that's kind of what we ran into yesterday. Eggs are like axles. They break pretty easy. And we found out yesterday. I think we busted up 3 axles yesterday. So anyway, we're hoping for better today, and ready to get on the road, see how it goes. Walking down to see how Casey's doing this morning in his first practice. It's you know, I'm really proud of the boys. Had a little each of us had our moments yesterday, but they have come back and did what they could to compete. Ben's waiting on an axle right now. It was supposed to be here at 8 and getting on 9:30, so we're not sure how that's going to work out, but if it arrives, we'll see what we can do to make it work. And spit and rain. Yeah, we don't have rain tires. We may have an agreement for some rain tires, so it's fun though. It's just a little crazy. Good news, the axle has arrived, so we will Ben will be giving the last chance race a chance, and then going out in heavy. So what can go wrong?
Finley, your dad had a rough day yesterday. You finished... Yeah, Dad. Yeah, you finished 15th. a DNF because gotten taken out. Yep, in the go-go. Yeah, he did. He got taken out in the go-go, and then came from the back to finish 18th in the next race. Back, yeah. He's starting 20th today. Back, yes. You think I'm going to go to the back? Is that what you're saying? All right, guys, you heard it here first. Finley thinks I'm going back to the back. Thinks I'm going to go back to my lucky yesterday. Okay, we're going up for the last chance qualifier. There are 60 spots available. 55 of them are already spoken for, so that leaves 5 open. Ben is going for one of those 5 spots.
And I'll be starting at the back.
He's starting at the back.
To get the 5th.
On the sheet, he was number 78. And so that'll leave whatever that math is, 23.
I took exactly 1 turn in medium classes yesterday. 1 turn, no more.
So he's got a lot of work to do in 8 laps.
I haven't been on track since, I don't know, yesterday. I've never run this kart with this setup. I have no idea what my rear grip situation is going to be like. It's going to be wild. My gearing's probably off. I mean, I'm going out there with a hope and a dream.
Just a couple years away. Big ask for Ben. Starting 20th in the last chance, he's got to get up to 5th. He's a great little driver, but I don't know if he can pull this off.
Alright, so I just did the LCQ race. Started from the back because I have done a total of 1 turn in terms of heat races, so I could start the LCQ from the back. I was quick. I really was. I was the fastest guy out there, which, as arrogantly as it sounds, was not unexpected. But, you know, I was the fastest guy out there. I think it'd be hard to argue that. I got up to 8th, and we were not far away from the 5th place guy. I mean, we were there, just a couple guys who, you know, probably weren't going to qualify. That doesn't mean that they should lay down or anything, but I just could. It took me too long to get around them. Needed another tooth on my gear to have more coming out of corners to get by them. But ultimately finished 8th, so I didn't get to qualify for medium. Sucks. Might be a good thing, honestly. That race will be pretty chaotic, and you know, after the weekend we've had bending up stuff, you don't want to necessarily take that risk. But I would have loved to be there. And I really thought I was going to be there. Just came up a little bit short, so got the heavy final coming up though, and maybe some weather. I don't know. We'll see.
Pushing the 26 back. Last chance race. He drove a heck of a race, man. Went from 20th to 8th, and then just you know, couldn't get there, but he did a heck of a job. I'm proud of him.
Okay, so what all do you guys have to get done?
Well, we were pretty confident the track was going to be dry. It doesn't look like it's going to be. We're just scrambling, Maddie. Trying to get there to be ready. We were ready for dry.
Yeah. Where are you starting, kid?
13th.
Where's Casey starting? Casey, where are you starting?
20th.
Oh no, where's Finley? I don't see him. Second. I see you.
So hey, I'm here on grid. We scrambled mandatory rain tires, which we didn't have. This guy right here, Jorge Ruiz, I'll put a link to his description. Great stuff. Check out his channel, but he hooked us up with a set of tires. Huge thank you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, of course. I wanted to make I only came to drive the race against the Stahls, and I'm having a blast.
Yeah, by blast he means disappointment.
I don't want to book it. Well, I didn't qualify well. I've been caught in multiple wrecks.
Yeah, I know that story well, man. But
yeah.
no, thanks again.
Oh,
Huge,
no, anytime, man.
huge help.
Anytime. Always trying to help everybody else out, man. I just like to race against the best.
Yeah. You mean the people up there?
Yeah, because we're in the back.
So I gave a little shout out to Jorge for the rain tires, which went on Ben's kart. I also have a set of rain tires. Another big shout out to Jamie Bradford. He ran in the Masters class, was killing it, had some bad luck. But as soon as he came off track, he peeled off his tires, gave them to me. It's just, honestly, you just can't find better people than you do here in karting, and just so appreciative to them for being so generous and helpful.
The heavy final just ended not too long ago. You can see still some remnants of the wet weather that we had. It sucked, man. I wanted a dry race. It would have been awesome. I could have gone from 13th to, you know, I think top 5. That's, you know, always things could have happened, but definitely the pace was there. Instead we get a, you know, a semi-wet track where it was dry by the end of our run. So hats off to Gary. Great win, man. Dominant as always, as expected. Always fun running with you. Someday you're gonna be in a wheelchair and I'll be able to keep up, but not yet. I finished, I think, 12th. Not great. It just sucked. Every time I was able to get by somebody, I'd leave my rear view mirror. Guys defending really well. Like, there was great defensive driving, like nothing wrong with that. It just took me a while to get around some of these guys, and I didn't have a lot of confidence doing it safely, smartly, etc. but I had a lot of speed. Wanted more gear. I didn't have the acceleration. I had a little bit too much top speed. I wasn't really on the rev limiter a whole lot. I needed more gear, but it was fun. Yeah, I had a great time. Jorge, our new buddy, vlog superstar, he was out there. I was racing with him for the last few laps. It was a good time. Once again, thank you to all the Florida boys and TV Kart fellas for handing us some tires, coming up, saying hey to us, and just being a joy, man, to be around. And letting me know which segments do not work on the vlog. That was a funny conversation, but yeah, man. I mean, Jorge, you definitely sent it a couple times, man. I respect it. So heavy was good. It was fun. A little disappointing. 12th out of, like, you know, the 40 entries or whatever. Not like super bummed about it, but I know I had a top 5 kart. I know I'm a top 5 driver, and just wasn't our weekend. It's tough.
45 was pulling away from you. Yeah, it was just I was
How you feel?
Oh, fine. Just didn't have enough acceleration. I had too much top end speed. I couldn't defend anything coming out of corners.
I know, that's what I said. 'Cause you were making moves.
I know. Well, and that's the thing, is that after I get around somebody, I would leave them in my dust. I actually want to take this second to, while we're kind of packing up here, I want to take the second to talk to you guys about Casey a little bit. So, hold on, I'll wait for this guy to go back. Casey's on his way to the hospital, or he's there maybe right now, but he was actually kind of, we rushed him to the ambulance, we took him over to the ambulance. His heart was fluttering all day since the final, really. He's not been feeling super great in his chest, which is obviously not good. Took him to the ambulance. He's going to the hospital for a bit. Shouldn't be an overnight thing, just monitoring him. He got an IV. They said his heart rate, I think it was coming down, but I mean, that is how the weekend has gone for us and for him. Our karts have all needed triaging. Might as well hit the drivers as well.
Okay guys, back at the track for a race recap, but I am actually 1 week after the CKNA event. As Ben probably mentioned, I ended up in the ambulance and then to the hospital. So I'll kind of go into that after my race recap. So I started 20th in that race, and man, I felt good. I felt really good. On lap 1, I made a stupid mistake, threw it to the inside of a kart. Our buddy Sean, who we just met out here that weekend, really nice guy, threw it to the inside of him, and the grip level wasn't there. Washed wide, mid-corner on, and ended up hooking his front bumper with my rear bumper, and I spun him out. I kicked myself that whole race. Sean was really nice about it when I apologized. I was upset that people impacted my racing and then I impacted somebody else's, so that just didn't sit right with me. I mean, it was a mistake, but still, like, it's lap 1, just a few corners in. I should have known better. Ended up catching Ben and his group because they were trying to get around the much slower kart. I had every intention of riding with Ben through this hairpin, and Ben kind of like bumped that cart in front of him, and it like threw off his momentum, so he went to the inside where I was set up to go to the outside, and the cart behind me jumped behind Ben, so I was stuck behind the slower cart, and Ben and this guy got by him. So I was hung up behind him for a few more corners, made a move to the inside, and I had the momentum, but Ben's group again was fighting, and someone came in off track, and they had lost their momentum, and I ended up bumping Ben, which lost my momentum, so I went too wide into the next corner. And here's what gets me here. That slower kart's on the outside of me. I have the move made, and as I'm setting up for this right-hander, as I'm turning in, the camera won't show it, but this guy looked very intentional. That was pretty disappointing to see. It's the same guy that flipped Ben off last year. So clearly class is lacking year over year. That spun me out, went to the back. Still, you know, I still was fast. I made a handful more positions up. I think I finished 23rd in that race after being up. I think I was up around 16th or so when I got taken out. It would have been nice to see what I could have done, but overall, you know, kind of fitting to the weekend I had. Just kind of some bad luck. But I was fast. That's the key, right? I mean, that's all you can ultimately ask for. You can't control everything on track, so that was nice.
You don't look happy.
I'm not happy.
You, like, after you went off back there, you caught up so much.
I was insanely fast.
You were?
Who did it? 21? Really?
No
What?
kidding.
21 drove to deliberately Hendon.
Yeah, shocker, he's an idiot.
The event itself, guys, it's awesome, right? You're gonna see a lot of, we were clearly upset, right? I mean, we had some bad luck and it cost us a lot. So there was some frustration there that you'll see, but it shouldn't diminish the shine of this event. I mean, you come out here, I knew what we were signing up for. There's a lot of karts, there's a lot of aggressive guys going for the highest spot they can, so you gotta expect possible damage. But what was just so awesome was competing against the best in our category and seeing where you stack up. And for me, it was worth it. I had a blast. I had speed. I wasn't gonna be a top 5 guy. Ben was in the top 5, but I was in the top 10 speed wise and competitive wise. So that was really awesome. That was a lot of fun. Made it worth it for me. You know, Ben, it was rough, man. I mean, to bend 2 axles in the middle and to basically only get a run, like, what, basically 2 heat races. Actually only 1 heat race clean. One heat race clean.
Heat race.
Yeah.
And one where I'm just bouncing everywhere from the axle.
Yeah, so it was there was a lot of frustration, and it was understandable from Ben's point. I was really happy that he bounced back and jumped in the kart on Sunday, did what he had to, found an axle, and got back out there. And he gave a heck of an effort, especially in that LCQ race. Just, you know, obviously what you're going to see, there was a lot going on, but other guys had better, you know, you can also have better weekends than us. So,
and you can have worse. I mean, I honestly, considering everything that I went away with, I saw guys total karts and all sorts of things like that. I mean, at least nothing bad happened. Just a few axles, you know, maybe a slight bend here and there, but nothing ultimately super crazy. It could have been a lot worse, so thankful that it wasn't.
Yeah, it was overall, I had a really good time. Could do without the ambulance bill, but it is what it is. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now for the medical stuff, before the race I had like my heart started like racing, and there was no trigger for it. I hadn't even had any caffeine that day, which is unusual for me. And my heart just started racing at some point, and like I was short of breath, and it almost didn't race because it was before the race. And when I sat in the cart on the grid, I guess the adrenaline started pumping, and it was okay. Did the race, I was just fine. And then as soon as I got done with it, when I stood up out of the cart after the race, it was right back at it. I mean, it was very odd. I didn't feel good. Ended up starting getting dizzy, still short of breath, and so came back to the tent and was just trying to just chill out. Been going on for about an hour and a half or 2 hours at that point, and Dad and Donnie both urged me to go get it checked out, and I'm an idiot and didn't. Luckily my wife called, and when I answered, she just heard it in my voice, I guess, and asked what was wrong. I told her. She's a nurse, and she's like, you got to go get that checked out right now. And so we went over to the on-site ambulance. The ambulance actually could not get my pulse or my blood pressure with the equipment they had. They called in an EMT, which at the time I'm like, guys, look, hey, if I'm gonna go to the hospital, that's cool. Donnie's can drive me right now, you know, let's save me the ambulance bill. But I guess he had already been called or something, so it was a done deal. They hooked me up, and with the monitor things, and I was at about 200 to 206 beats per minute, and ended up giving me some medicine through an IV. 2 doses of it. That medicine really is terrible. It what it does is it, in a sense, stops your heart for a few seconds to reset it. The first dose worked just for a second, and the heart rate went right back up. And then so they doubled the dose, and that was awful. I mean, that was you don't feel your heart stop, but the feeling throughout my body was really just not good. Like almost passed out from it. It was just terrible. But that did the trick. Got my heart rate down to about 100. Ended up going to the hospital. They did some tests on my heart to make sure nothing was damaged. Everything was good. They called it SVT. Couldn't tell you what it stands for. They've told me, I just don't remember it. So I've got a cardiologist appointment here in the coming weeks, just to make sure everything's good. Since I've been fine, but if you guys experience something like that, like where your heart's racing and you can't get it under control, and just, you know, get it checked out.